All right, folks, welcome to a new season, new set of races, Gen 4 cars out here at Top Tier Racing. I am your broadcaster, John Ross, here on the Royalty Racing Network. Really happy to have you for the start of this thing. As always, we were out there on YouTube. If you got anything to say, someone you want us to focus on, please let us know. We'll make sure that we do that and we talk about those drivers. But we've got a lot to talk about tonight. What we can see through this new season here at Top Tier Racing. We have a playoff season that's going to happen, and the Gen 4 cars. We wanted to come back live here a little bit because we're going to bring you 60 laps here at Daytona, and we wanted to come back a little bit early because we have so many things to discuss about. Not only the schedule that we've got coming up, the races we're going to have these drivers take on. This plate track that you're seeing here tonight, we're going to have a few more of those this season. We're going to have the mile and a halves. We're going to Iowa and some of these short tracks, and we're also going to bring you some road course racing here at the new Gen 4 car. And for all of you out there that are huge iRacing fans, this Gen 4 car has had a new revamp. This thing, and we're going to talk about it throughout the night, not only how it handles in draft and through this Daytona track, but how it's going to handle going to short tracks, how it's going to handle on the mile and a half track. So lot to talk about. Glad to have you here. As always, we certainly would appreciate you liking and subscribing there on YouTube. So a couple of things to get to, and we're going to pop that up real quick, is going to be the schedule. I just want everybody to take a look and see where we are going to go throughout the rest of this season. So again, we had the duels, so you are not going to see a qualifying run tonight because we had the duels. That's why we got in here a little bit early because I wanted to talk about this. But you're going to have Daytona tonight. We've got a short track in Iowa coming up, Texas Auto Club, and you can see the remainder of the schedule there on your screen. Very interested to see how these things are going to handle there at Iowa. And so you've got Daytona, your plate track. You've got Iowa, which is a short track, and then you're going to be there at Texas. So we've got a mile and a half. So you're going to get a really good view and picture of how this is going to go here in that Gen 4 car. And I got to tell you, I've driven this car quite a bit since the relaunch and the revamp of it. It is better in some sense, but it's going to be a little bit worse in others, and I believe we're going to get into that as we go throughout tonight. So Rachel already out there in chat saying go JD, so I certainly appreciate everybody being out there. Give me just 1 second. I believe I've got a little feedback on the mic, so give me just a second. All right, I hope that fixed things for us tonight. I do show just one audio coming through, so let's hope that that's going to get this done. So let's see if we can go out and show if we have a grid to show. We can do that. Let's show the grid here, and this is going to be your Trish's Learning Center race for tonight. You've got Matt on the pole. Alex is going to be outside Jake there in third. Jorge is going to be in fourth. Kelly in fifth. Davis is going to be in sixth. Jim, Shane, Nick, and Nick Baum in 10th. And we've got Dan, JD rounding out your top 12. Let's keep moving through. We're going to have Zach White, and then Kenny is going to start 14th. 15th, Robert White, and then Jack is going to be in 16th. And then you've got Rob in 17th, Jeremy Gill in 18th. And we've got Drafty there in 19th, and Christian Proctor is going to round out your top 20. Robert Altman in 21st, Logan Gill in 22nd. And then rounding out the field is going to be Dylan Jacobs there in 23rd. So there's your lineup. Very first race of the season. Can't wait to get this thing started. We're going to bring a lot of camera angles for you tonight. We've got some cockpit views. We've got some things off of the gearbox. We're going to show how these cars are going to push around the track. You can see there's a little bit different look to them too. If you look at the front of the cars, a little bit more closed off nose, a little bit more aerodynamic. These cars will push a bit better than the old Gen 4 version. So if you looked and you watched a few races on the old Gen 4, they could really act almost like a plow, get underneath of somebody and be able to turn them. Yeah, still out there in chat. I do apologize about that on the voice. I'll try to reset this mic just one more time here before we go green. Give me just 1 second. All right. I hope that is going to work for everybody. We're going to try to back it down just a little bit and change the gain on it. So I hope that's going to work. But here we go. We are going to bring these drivers to the line. They are going to get ready to go. 60 laps in this Gen 4 car here at Daytona. This is the only way that you can start a season, folks, is here at Daytona Raceway. And here we go. Green flag is in the air. Matt is going to bring them down. And again, you are going to see a lot of pushing going on. Yeah, I appreciate that out there in the chat. Josh is already out there saying, let's go Royalty Motorsports. We've got W's in the chat. We are on the call tonight, so certainly appreciate that. So Matt is going to hang on to that bottom line. He is getting a great push here by Jake. We've got the 67 driver there. He's going to sneak on the outside line there on the right-hand side in that black 67 machine. 44 right behind him, giving him a nice push. Now, these cars, again, they're going to have a little bit of an overheating issue. So they're going to have to look out for that. I've seen these cars in draft. We got a little bit of a blinking issue down there at the bottom. And it looks like he has blinked out for good. I do not see him back out here on the track. And we've got one that is pulling over, is going to go to the back line and just kind of bide his time to see where he's at. Now, 67 of that outside line really starting to move, as Jorge's giving him some really good pushing going down those straightaways, doing just like he should, staying off of him in the turns, but pushing nice and hard going down the straightaway. Now, the 72 is going to get a nice run. 37 pushing pretty hard. That is Jake. Jake is staying right on the back of him. Now, that is going to allow Alex to be able to come down in front of Matt and cut that line off. And now that is going to put Jorge on the outside. And folks, you know, if they can get a nice little line rolling, it looked like that outside is working very well early on in this race. Now the 59 right behind Jorge. He is pushing in for everything that he has got. As we go back up front, Alex still leading the way here. Down there on that bottom line, looks like everybody really behaving themselves as they're in this big, huge pack. As we go along, we're going to run through this field real quick and take a look. Matt, again, all over the back end of the 67. Right behind him is going to be Jake. Jake in that 37 machine, that black and white machine there at the bottom. We got a car in the wall. We're still three there in the back. Now we're going to go down and drag ourselves down into the grass and come back up, and that is going to be the first caution of the night. We'll go back and take a look at it. All right, looks like Rob was involved in that crash, so we're going to see if we can go back, see what happened here. And this, I believe, is well past that wreck. Let's see if we can go back and take a look. We are going to actually do this in the old school way and just bring this thing back a little bit. And I believe this is going to be after the crash. Yeah, this is definitely after the crash. We had a couple of drivers out up front pushing each other, and they were off. Let's see if we can take another look. They were off into the grass, some going down the pit road. There it is right there. So that is going to be the 55 machine coming up. A little bit of netco, but that would have been an accident anyway. He's going to put the 14 in the wall hard. 13 right behind him. 04 is in the middle of that. Oh, my goodness. The 32 of Jack Ruffini just so close to being caught up in that. Now these drivers are going to have to go down pit road and get some repairs completed and get these cars back out here, as we are only about 5 laps into this race here at Top Tier Racing. Looks like we got a driver here deciding to take the bus stop, already getting his road course practice in, it looks like, earlier on in the season. I believe we're going to hit Sonoma and a couple of other road courses throughout this year, so be on the lookout for that. Yeah, Dylan in the chat saying early chaos. Yeah, that's normally what happens. We had a driver in the wall there, Dylan, and just trying to straighten it up causes everybody to get a little bit tight. Start jockeying around for position, drug another car into the infield, and there you have it. So let's see what's going to happen. It looks like the 67 is either faking people out. He might come down pit lane. It does look like he is going to come down pit lane. He's going to have a couple of drivers follow him. But, man, we had some other drivers that are going to stay out. So this is going to shake things up just a little bit, as now we're going to have a bit of a different fuel strategy going on for these cars. So your 67 is in. Davis is in behind him. Jorge is in the 44. David Shively, he is in. The 59 is in and already off. So it looks like fuel only for the majority of these drivers. So we had 2, 4, 6, 8. We had about 12 drivers come down, and they are going to top off. So they are certainly going to play that fuel strategy game. Now, again, that is great to see with the 67 coming in, other cars being able to follow him. You do not want to be the only one down pit road, and that way you want to make sure that you are out with some buddies here, when these other drivers are going to have to come down and pit. So as we reset, that's going to put Matt back up to the lead. He was your pole sitter here for this race. Jake is going to be in second there in the 37. JD Van Kirk is going to be in third. Robert White is in fourth, and Nick Baum is going to be in fifth. So that's going to round out your top five as we get these things reset and ready for the green. All right, folks out there in chat, if you have not, it is time to make your pick. We are only 6 laps into this thing. I know that we had a vote earlier for, looks like Shane Jeff in the chat saying, let's go Shane. So we've got a vote for Shane. We got 1 vote for JD. I will tell you that the 67 looked really good on the outside. Early on in this race, he was able to make that outside work. Him and Jorge hooked up really well there. So that car's got a lot of engine underneath of the hood. So he's looking pretty strong. Matt, he was your pole sitter. He's looked strong. He is fallen back to second position so far this race. So back up to first now. So he has really stayed up front the majority of the first few laps of this race. 37 to Jake. He's looking pretty strong. So you can see those lights are out there on the pace car. We've got those that pit. They went back down, topped off again. They're going to come back and catch the back half of this field. Get all 20 of these drivers back out onto the track. I was looking up the point standings from last season. A lot of these drivers back from last season. A couple of these drivers hanging out in the back. Christian Proctor comes to mind early. Christian, I believe he was third or fourth there in the points last season. So, he's got a good hot rod. So he's going to try to work his way back up. You see quite a few of these Royalty Motorsports drivers. And you can see those paint schemes. They have those alternate paint schemes. All right, here we go, folks. 7 laps in, 60 laps. This is almost a sprint to some of those other races that we see. This will be a quick, fast, furious pace that we have here at Daytona. These Gen 4 cars, all of the horsepower. We're going to hop on board with some of these drivers as they come down the backstretch. I really want you to hear the RPMs that these cars get to when they come down the backstretch, and you're going to see that even on short tracks, these cars have an independent kind of setup on them where they're really loose down the straight. So you'll see a lot of right input into the steering wheels as they go down the straightaway. So here we go, Matt bringing them back out. We are going to go green once again here. They're going to come to the line. 8 laps to go. 8 laps in of a 60-lap race. Matt with a fantastic jump. The 37 is going to be able to drop down and get right behind him, as now they're going to stack up one by one there on the inside line. That is going to leave this driver hung out to dry. Let's see if we can go back and take a look. No, the 32 is going to sneak up to the outside. 19 right behind him. So the 69 was able to get himself back in line. And that's going to be Robert White. He was out there all on his own. He fell back in line. Now the 81 is out there, and already you can see the 67 moving his way back up. So Alex already back up, working that top line again, looking for a push there from this 81 machine. Only 3 cars there on that top line. I'm not certain how well they're going to be able to get a push going, but what we're going to do, I wanted to go on board, and we're just going to go on board for just a second with Jake, and I just want you to hear the RPMs that this car is going to turn coming down these straightaways. 190 mile an hour going into the turn, and they're going to hold that steady, almost increase there about a mile an hour to 191 in the center of that turn. Now 192 here on the front stretch. You can see Jake nice and steady on that wheel, not doing a whole lot of adjustments to it. 193 topping out, getting back into turn 1. Doing a really good job. You can see really not pushing the 72 a lot, just staying close enough to get a nice little run. He's going to have a great run right here. Let's see if he's going to make a move up. He's just going to stay in line. 67 of Alex still on that outside, trying to make that outside line work, but right now he does not have the teamwork that he's going to need to get a push. Now only 2 cars nose to tail on that outside line. Here we got a little bit more. It looks like we're starting to form up a little better. Let's go back here and take a look. The 59 of Jim. Jim has decided to move on the outside. He's along there with Logan Gill. They've jumped up in front of Alex to try to get that top line moving. So what was only 3 cars, really 2 cars before, now has 5. And you can see that top line starting to chug along, getting some momentum. Jacob saying, let's go revved up. Yeah, we'll get to know Jacob a little bit further on as the season goes along, who is on what team. We'll make sure that we call those out, but out there rooting for Revved Up Racing. So fantastic job. It looks like Dan Ames. See if we can go find Dan here. Yeah, it looks like he started to enter the pits. I did not see him wreck. It did not show that it wrecked, but you can tell he does not have a front end on this machine. He is now going to go in the pits and try to get some work done on this 55 Summit car, but he could be in pretty serious trouble here as we're going to go back up front. That's going to put him down at least 1 lap. And again, the dire problem that he is going to have is now he's going to be out there alone without any drafting help. So he's going to get gobbled up by these drivers pretty quick. We'll watch that. That last time around, Matt turning a 46.8, a 46.78. So we'll keep an eye on Dan and what he's going to be able to turn when he gets back out here. All right, so we got 13 in the books. We're going to come to 14. You can see Matt still out there leading. And again, if this is going to be a fuel game, what happens in the 37 machine sitting back here, Jake might be thinking he is going to allow Matt to cut that air and really burn the fuel. That lead car, that 72 car out front, the 59 car on that high side, that fuel consumption is massive versus that 37. That 37 can run 3/4 throttle down the straightaways, half throttle in the turns. use that draft to his advantage to save that fuel. So he might be playing a little bit of a fuel game. Now, remember, the 67A handful, about 12 cars coming down on that first caution and getting fuel and topping off. So they are certainly going to be able to stay out a little bit longer than these front 8 will. So that's going to be interesting to see when these drivers are going to have to come down and get their pits done. Now you see that top line again, just chugging along. That is going to put Jim out there in front of that 59 machine. So about 5 cars. Now Jim is going to dip down in front of the 72. You will see that a lot, that top line getting a lot of momentum coming through that front stretch, getting out in front, and that driver dropping down in front of the low line. And that backs that top line up. Now there's only 4 nose to tail on that top line. Man, here they come around for, Daytona has such a quick start-finish line versus Talladega. When you're going to make a move, and it's going to be near the end of this race, that move is going to have to be done through the middle of 3 and 4 or on the exit of 4. You cannot wait till that straightaway like you can at Talladega. You can see that drone cam just starting to follow these drivers around. Matt, you can see the nice run he's getting on the exit there of 2, deciding to stay behind the 59 for right now. Again, that 72 is probably calculating fuel at this point. He's been leading for a lot of laps. He did not come down and get fuel on that initial caution. So going to be very interested to see how some of these drivers are going to handle this fuel situation here. I do know the 59 coming down earlier and getting a top off, so he does have a little bit more fuel than that driver behind him. All right, now the 8. Logan Gill there on the outside. He was following behind that 59, giving him a nice push. He started to creep up on this right-hand side, this outside line. Again, starting to get some more momentum. It looks like the 44 is going to sneak out of that bottom line and join this top line as well. So now that's going to be a 5-car line. And I got to tell you, I feel like when this high line is hooked up, it carries a ton of speed. As you can see them now coming through this tri-oval, that 8 machine has a head of steam. He is going to get beside of the 72 going into 1. 59 creeping up just a little bit. I don't know if Jim was trying to block that run on that top line, but now they are going to be side by side as they come down the straightaway. I told you I would check on Dan. That last lap, Dan turned a 47.3 to a mid-46s, so not as much of a drop-off as you would think in the draft, but certainly going to run a lot slower than these drivers here. So he is going to have to get the move on. Looks like Christian Proctor. See if we can go back and take a look at Christian. Shane is with him there. Shane has fallen off of that lead draft. Proctor has fallen off of that lead draft. Rob, he's off of that lead draft. So these 2 drivers are together. They're going to be able to gobble up Christian and bring a 3-car tandem up. But they are 23 seconds. Christian is now behind this lead pack. So unless there is a caution, these drivers are well behind. It does look like, now that we look at Rob, he's got some pretty heavy damage to that front spoiler and that right front fender. So he is nursing a damaged vehicle. Let's go back up here, up front, 2x2. This top line, again, just a ton of speed. Logan on the outside of Jim. That 67 machine, he was strong early on, took the lead early on, has pushed this 8 and Gill up to the front. Now clearly in front this top line. I believe if that 8 stays up there, allows this top line to continue to make steam, that might be your faster line around this track right now. All right, we're going to check in here with this number 1 machine, Nick Baum. Really nice looking Monster Energy car. Number 1 machine. He right now is running in 9th. He is up 1 position from where he qualified. So pretty good run here by him. Jorge is right beside of him. Robert White right behind him in that 69 machine. We saw him earlier on that restart get hung out to dry on that outside line. Able to find his way, stick to this top draft, find his way down to this bottom line and stay in line here. 19. Oh, he is on the apron back up. Nice job hanging on to that, but he is all kinds of out of control there. In that 19, that's going to be Kelly. Right behind him is Davis. Davis in this 85 machine. Really old school paint job there in that Winston Noble machine. And it looks like the last driver here in this lead pack is going to be Zach White. Zach, another Royalty Motorsports driver. Dylan saying revved up, picking up where it left off last season. Now, Logan, it does look like he was able to get that top line to work. Now, just like we saw that top line earlier, both of those drivers, that 8 and 67, able to clear that lower line and then drop down in front of them. Now, that is going to leave, as we scan back the 81 machine, on the outside, which was a 4-5 car tandem, now is only 2, as those 2 drivers, the 8 and the 67, drop down in front of the 59. So I don't believe a 2-car tandem is going to be able to get that done. As you can see now, some of these drivers coming up on some lap traffic. So let's go on board. Now you can see it looks like they're going to stick to the outside here. That's the 55 machine. And that is Dan. We talked about him a little bit earlier with that severe front end damage. He does have a front end back on that car, but just getting swallowed up in the draft. Oh, the A machine on the apron. He's going to get all kinds of loose. That's going to check that lineup. The 67 had to check up a little bit. That made the 59 check up. The 55 in the wall again. Another driver, Rob, going down pit lane. All right, little bit of fireworks there. There's the 8 machine touching that apron, getting himself all kinds of loose. Backed up the second and third place drivers. Does look like everybody able to avoid a wreck there, still in line. Now, we do have this other group of cars, this 4 group of cars, and that's going to be Robert, Jeremy Gill, Christian Proctor, Shane. All 4 of these drivers are going to be stuck here in this little group. Actually, that is going to be Drafty right there behind that 71 machine. Now, the 94 is going to be right behind Drafty. Let's see if we get a view of this 94. So that is Robert. Yep. So Robert and then the 4 machines. So this is a group of 4 falling off of that backpack. So if we look at this 71 on your timing tower there on the left-hand side, he is in 15th, but you can see he is about 3.3 seconds behind this initial group. So they are trying to stay nose to tail and catch that front group. Last lap, 71 of Kenny turned a 47.2 to a 47.4 of Logan. So that pack is a little quicker right now than what this front pack is. So they are starting to catch them. All right, so right in front of your leaders, right in front of Gill is going to be these 2 drivers here that you are taking a look at. That is the Hello Kitty car. Now, you can see some left front damage, and it looks like the 5 is pushing him. What you want to see on that 13 is maybe to switch positions with that 5, although you can tell that 5 has a little bit of left rear quarter panel damage, but they are right in front of this lead group, so they're going to catch them in a hurry. And again, that is going to be on the 8 car. The 8 car wants to call this out. He is up 21 positions, folks, from where he started. But he is going to call the outside there. These drivers are going to stay down below. Now, they're going to be able to filter in somewhere in this lead group. Maybe even right behind Matt there in the 72. And Matt is going to come down early, and he is going to leave the 59 out to dry. So it looks like Matt picking the time there to go around the 59 and pick up a position. What a strong move there by the 72 machine. Wow, really nice job there. Now, everybody's going to settle back down. It does look like those two drivers have been able to filter themselves into this lead pack. But what that is going to do, now keep an eye on that 15th of Kenny, all the way back to Drafty, Robert. You can see that 4-pack all the way to Gil. That 4-car pack is starting to sneak back up. Now, they're only 2 seconds, about 2 seconds behind this front pack of 13 cars. So keep an eye on them as they're trying to really stay nose to tail. As a matter of fact, let's see if we can go back and take a look at them. Yeah, they are almost to the back end of this pack now. All right, folks, we are about halfway done. As they come through this start-finish line, we are going to have 30 laps in the book, 30 laps of 60 in the books. And as we do that, we are going to take that opportunity to get ourselves a little commercial break in here and take care of our sponsors. So we're going to throw this break up. You're going to have some side-by-side action, and then we'll be right back with you. All right, we are right back with you. Man, we picked quite the time to go to break, as now all of these pit stops have started. As you can see now, the 8, the 67, the 59 all stayed out. As you can see, they're going by that 13 machine now. He is coming out of the pit. So these are the drivers that come down and got some fuel. That's that 3-car lead pack right there. Those drivers that are right in front of them, that is another 3-car pack that has decided to come out of the pits right in front of them. Now, the 8 is going to be in draft, so he might, and the best bet here for this 8 is maybe to stay right behind the 81 machine, use that to be able to save a little bit more fuel, but they are going to have to come down and pit at some point. So this is going to shake this thing out like you would not believe. Kenny, Drafty, Jorge, all of those drivers, it does look like now Robert and Drafty all coming in, and now he is going to get loose. This tube machine trying to woe that car down, getting loose there on pit road. Now, that is obviously going to be a penalty for him as he's going to get into the grass there. That is going to leave, unfortunately, Robert out there in the 94 without a drafting partner coming off of pit road. But we're going to go right back up here. We'll shake all this thing out for you, but please keep an eye on that left side ticker because we've got a lot of drivers that have come down. Those drivers 43 seconds behind, and that is going to start with Matt in the 8th position. This is a 5-car breakaway, and for my calculations, Kenny, he is down pit road now. It does look like everybody, maybe except, yep, the 67 as well. So this is going to shake back out for the 72 to be the leader once these drivers come down. So that's Alex, Jim, Kenny, and Jorge all coming down and pitting. Logan is pitting there, coming down, getting serviced on. They're going to have to come out in a pretty big pack. This is a 4-car breakaway at this point, and once they cross that start-finish line, it is going to show you exactly where they are at to the pack behind them. But they're going to have, it looks to be about 6 seconds on that next pack. All right, we're going to try to run this down for you. Let's give it about one more lap as everybody filters out. Here comes the lead pack. The 8 machine is out now. He is not going to be up to speed. You're going to see the 72 go to the outside just like that. The one right behind him, 77 teammate pushing him as well. Going to blow by these drivers. I'm not certain the 59 and the 8 are going to have enough momentum to tag onto the back of this pack. I do believe the 59 and the 8 will have enough. 67 is out in front of them, so 67 will definitely be up to speed to be able to tag onto the back of the 85. This could be a 6-car breakaway here. Man, a lot going on. Yep, 67 is going to be able to get onto the back. 59 and the 8 are going to catch this pack. We're going to watch where Jim is at. Jim right now turning, man, you can see him catching that draft. 199, folks, before he got into that turn. Oh, 69 saying he randomly shut off. Oh, that is terrible to hear. Had a good run going there. Hate to see that. As you can see now, the 59 and the 8 have caught back up there right behind their drafting partner there in the 67. 67 on and off pit road. Fantastic job by him. And so this is going to put this, as we reset this, you're going to see a 3, 6, 8-car breakaway. And we're going to slide all the way back to the 19. And the 19 is going to be right around 6 seconds, a little shy of 6 seconds behind that lead pack. So let's take a look at what these times are going to be as they come across the start-finish line. Now, the 19 was able to turn a 47.25. 47.25. That lead pack turned a 46.78. So the lead pack is pushing away from this 4-car pack here. So what he can hope for, that 19 and Kelly, he is hoping that they're going to get a little racy up front. Not sure if that is going to happen right now because we have 24 laps to go, folks. 24 laps to go here. Race number 1, top tier in your Gen 4 car, the new Gen 4 car. Let's see if we can find out what happened to the tower, Josh. I am not certain. It is certainly showing on my screen, so let's give it one more shot. We're going to reset this overlay. All right, folks, give us just 1 second. We're going to try to reset our tower. Yeah, Dylan, that's the left tower on the top that showed everybody's standings here. It looks like our SDK does what SDK likes to do. Yeah, the scoring tower. Give me just 1 second here. We're gonna see if we can pull it back up for everyone. And of course, we're gonna try it one more time, folks. It does look like our SDK tower on the left-hand side, our timer is working, but it is not showing on our screen. So give us just 1 more second. All right. Let's see if we can get this fixed, folks. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick little break here with about 20 laps to go, and we are going to throw up a commercial, see if we can get this SDK rolling back for everybody. So just hang on 1 second for us. All right, folks, we are back here with you now. I hope you can see that timing tower. It does show on OBS. You can see that now on the top left-hand screen. 18 laps to go. We're going to reset this thing. The 67 has made a strong move, put himself up front here. He is going to be leading Logan there in the second position. Those two drivers showing a lot of speed so far tonight. The 59 of Jim is going to be right behind him. You've got the 85, Matt in the 72. You've got the one car 77, 37. Kenny is in the 71, and then rounding out your top 10 is JD. I know we have some JD fans out there in the chat. So that is your top 10. Now, let's look at this breakaway that we have here with now 17 to go as they're going to cross this start-finish line. You've got the top 8 that are in the breakaways. You can see that is 1 through 8 on the timing tower there on the left-hand side. Kenny in the 71 machine is going to be in that second pack. He is right here. As now these drivers, it looks like in the second pack, are going to start to switch positions. That 13 was towing them around. He's got a little bit of damage, as you can see on the front of that car. So the 71 is going to start leading this train with the 22 and the 81 behind him. Yeah, Rachel out there in chat. Rachel saying, come on, JD. I got to tell you, Rachel, unless we get a caution, I believe that that the 71, the 22, and the 81 are going to be racing for position. If we look at that last lap, they turned a 47.9 to your drivers up front here at a 46.6. So they are continuing to lose some time, about 10 seconds behind this lead pack. All right, 16 laps to go. Every driver, you know, these plate tracks are one of those tracks throughout the course of the season where it's always a roll of the dice. So if you can get a great finish, that is what you want. That's what you look for in these races. And if you win, that is a even bigger feather in your cap here. So 67 showing a lot of muscle all night long. The 8 has been up front. The 59 has been up front. You're seeing these normal suspects here in that top 5. Rachel saying, it's Daytona, you never know. Rachel, I got to tell you, you've never been more right, especially on plate races. You never know what is going to happen, but I can tell you at 15 to go, these drivers up front, they don't want to see that. They want to stay in line. They know they want to be in line and say, let's just race this out. Every driver that's in this front pack has a top 8 finish going right now. So if you're looking at this again and we're thinking points, and I'm the 3rd, 4th, 5th driver in this pack here, I want to stay nose to tail. I don't want to do anything crazy till a lap to go, maybe 2 laps to go. I'll start to make some moves. I might even poke out a little bit here. If I'm the 85, the 59, I want to see if somebody's going to come with me. And I'm trying to find some buddies here with 14 laps to go. I want to see if I can find somebody that's going to come and push me to the front. If not, I'm thinking I want to stay nose to tail and let me get a top 8 finish here. Get out of Daytona with a solid top 10 and move on to the next race. But you are right. Anything can happen at Daytona. All right, we're going to go back and keep a eye on this pack here. So 71 of Kenny, he turned a 47.4. So again, they are about half a second to 0.6 of a second behind. The 13 now has fallen off of this pack. 81 a little bit behind the 22. So this pack of 3 cars, unfortunately, is not going to have the steam to catch up to that front pack. All right, so we're going to continue to go through this field. So you've got the 71 and the 22 here, along with the 81. Now you're going to come into this next pack. Now remember that 13 car fell off of the pack right in front of them. So really you've got a 2-car tandem here of the 94 and the 4. The 94 Robert, he is in 12th position. The 4 of Gil, he is in 13th. The 13 car, obviously several laps down, he is in 19th. That's Christian Proctor there. He's got some pretty solid damage, not only to the left front fender, but now to the front end. And then we're going to go right back here to your 14th position, and that is going to be Jack and this other pack. So you've got the 32, you've got the 5 in this pack. You've got the 69 in this pack. He had some blinking issues earlier. You saw him hop into chat saying he had some issues. The 19 is there. The looks like the driver in this Summit car that had the front end torn off of this, he's back in this. That's the 55 machine. He's in this pack as well as that's Dan Ames. BC came and saying the boss, John Ross, I know that guy. Yeah, I appreciate you hopping in. Make sure that you give us a follow and a like, man. I will tell you, this first race has been nothing short of exciting here at Daytona. You know, these plate races and how they go. All right, we're going to go right back up here, up front now. The 67 still leading this thing. That is Alex Anderson. He is probably going to be your leader in the clubhouse for the most laps led as we go through our stats for the end of this night. 8 car right behind him has shown a ton of speed. 59 is still right there. That is Jim. 85, Right behind him, they're in fourth position. That's the Winston Noble machine. And then you've got Matt in the 72. Followed by Nick Baum. We call him the Triple F Bomb. He is right there in the 1 machine, that Monster Energy car. Followed by the 2. We saw the 2 in Drafty get loose, go down pit road. I don't believe he had to serve a pit. He might have had a stay penalty there of 40 seconds. '77 machine right behind him. And then the 37. So that's going to round out this top group of cars. Now, as you can see, you see a lot of purple in here. That's those Royalty Motorsports guys. You know that they are going to link up. They're going to try to link up and get this thing done. And, man, they are nose to tail, all 4 of those drivers. That 1 machine, I believe he's going to be a part of this Royalty Motorsports. So that's 4 drivers in a row. Look for them to make a move. We got 9 laps to go. We don't want to wait till the last lap, especially if we're going to sneak up to the outside and try to get a run done. I think a run's going to take 2 laps. That momentum's going to take at least 2 laps to create. Oh, Russ, we know you, man. We certainly appreciate you being in. Oh, the 2 now starting to sneak out. Drafty getting a little racy early on. 8 laps to go. I don't know. You know they're communicating. They're in the chat. Where do we go here? We got some drivers entering pit lane. It looks like Robert there at Altman is going to come down pit lane, and so is Jeremy Gill. Getting some services done. Let's go take a look now. We got 3 drivers. Oh, the 4 car is going to get through his pits. He's going to have to back that car up. No, he's going to go forward and then back up. Oh, the 4 is just way overshot. Gill is about 3 pit stalls. Oh, he's just going to move forward, it looks like. 4 machine, you're going to see the 94 and the 13 of Christian Proctor go by him. Oh, that is just going to be a killer to that driver. Oh, the 72 loose. Matt Barnes is down on the apron. He is trying to save that machine. Matt Baines, he is going to be able to say, no, he's going to loop it going onto the pit road. Let's see if that is going to be a caution. He's down on the apron by himself. He's going to come back up the track. And that is going to be your caution there, folks. 6 laps to go. Matt Baines getting onto the apron, not able to get that thing slowed down and under control. We're going to go back and take a look at it. But what I want to do is see if we can get on board with him. And there he goes. He's going to touch the apron. You can see that counter steer to the right. Man, and he just has his hands full here with the wheel. Oh, and then he's just going to overcorrect. That thing is hard right. There's nothing he could do here. Spun down to the apron. And, man, here's the tough one. You want him just to hit the throttle there and spin that thing around, but he's going to get back up there and get that caution called on this race. We're going to go back live. And, man, this is going to change everything, folks. So we had a couple of drivers come down pit road early. Now, it does look like they were a lap down, so that is going to be on the left-hand side of your ticker. You can see the 19, the 94, the 4, and Shane there in the 5. All 4 of those drivers took a lap down when they went to get their pit stops. But what they're going to do is they're going to stay out, and they're going to get the wave around if all of your lead lap cars are going to come down pit road. So the question is going to be the 8, the 67, the 59. How much fuel is left in the tank for those drivers? Man, I will tell you, Rachel, I was talking a big game, but you are right. There is the Daytona magic. That puts everybody right back on a level playing field here. So the 8 is going to be your leader coming around, getting that pace car. He's caught up to the pace car now. Now, if these drivers come down pit road, all of the drivers from 13th to 16th, they're going to stay out and get a wave around. They know they can make it on fuel. Looks like the 67 is certainly going to call that pit out a little bit early. He is already on the apron. Let's see what the 8 machine is going to do. They do not give any indication that they're going to come down pit road. Now, if they do not, all of those drivers, 8 is going to stay out, 67, so they do have the fuel to make it. We do have one coming down pit road. It looks like Zach is going to be your first driver down pit road, and everybody behind him, Zach, Matt, Kenny, and JD, all are going to come down pit road and get some service here. All right, so all these drivers need to come down and get service. So what that is going to mean is all of those drivers that we talked about being a lap down, they are going to have to stay on a lap off. So they're all going to still be a lap down because they were not able to get that wave around. I might have heard this 8 machine clutching. You hear that car just coasting, folks, just coasting. He is saving fuel. You see the RPM gauge there. He's got that thing in high gear trying to save some fuel. Let's take a look at Alex, see what he's doing. Alex has the car shut off. You can see no RPMs on that car. Now he's just popping the clutch, firing that thing back up. Getting around, 4 laps to go. You can hear him shut that car off, make sure he's got plenty of fuel. Let's see how David is handling it here. All right, David, he must feel pretty comfortable with the amount of fuel that he has. Jim, you can tell he's in high gear. You never know what's going to happen. Very smart job by that 67. I got to tell you, anytime a caution comes out, you want to make sure that you are on that clutch, saving fuel. You never know what's going to happen. So here we go, folks. We are going to have 3 laps to go. We are setting this thing up for a barn burner. I hope you are ready for this thing. We now have 13 drivers that are going to be here on the lead lap. You've got that 8 machine so strong all night long. He's going to be on the inside. The 67 is going to take that outside. We saw him earlier. Now, don't forget, with this thing, with that green flag drop, that 67 on that outside, able to get a great push from the 44 behind him, and he was able to get out in front. So definitely something to keep an eye on. I think that 67 is very comfortable out there. The 59 and the 85, they're going to be beside each other. That one machine there in the Nick Baum, able to catch back up. If you remember, Nick was one of those drivers that was out there in one of those packs that was several seconds behind this lead pack, so he was able to catch back up. You've got all of these drivers ready to go here. These top 5 are going to scramble early. This is where it happens. You know there's going to be that late race caution. We have had that late race caution. The lights are now off on this pace car. We are going to set this thing up for a 3-lap shootout. You're going to see some door banging, some hard pushing. You are not going to see, like, these Gen 4s can push and they can stay connected long enough to give a great push down these straightaways. So here we go, folks. You can see that flagger has that green flag in his hand. That pace car now is going to peel off. That is going to leave this to Gill and Anderson, and there they go. Green flag is in the air. Man, the A car unfortunately has a great jump. You want that 90% of the time, but he is out there. He is a man on an island all alone. Will the 59 follow the 67 once they catch up to him? Here it goes. You can see this now. 67 already there. Will he make that move? He is not. He is going to stay in line. Watch this outside. They're in the 85 machine. He is on the outside. That Winston Noble car with a great push. We've got 3 cars pushing side by side. Matt's there pushing the 37, who is pushing the 85 on the outside. Not really getting the momentum they need. Now we've got a driver trying to go 3 wide early on. That's the 81 car. Not going to be able to make that happen. Now, final lap is in the air. That is the white flag. No matter what happens from here, folks, we are going to the checkered flag. A car there, 67 there, 59 right behind him. What's he going to do? Is the 59 going to pull out? We got a wreck. The 37 has caught the 71, the 72 of Matt. There are several cars. The 2 car, the 94 is in the wall. We're going to stay right here with you. So that is Drafty, Jake, Kenny, and Matt all getting in an accident. A lot of those Royalty Motorsports guys back there in the back having an accident on this white flag. Now coming to the checkered, the 8. Oh, it looks like the 67 is going to make a move on the outside. He's got a great run. The 8 not able to do anything, and it does look like unofficial results right at the line. The 67 was such a great pullout late on the exit of 4. I believe he is going to get this done, folks. The 67 of Alex Anderson. Let's go back and take a look at this pass. The 67, this is the exit of 4. What a great run he gets on the 8. The 8 is going to come up just a little to try and block, but I believe the damage is done. There he goes, coming up. It is too late. That 67 with a great run. The 8's going to get a little loose. 81's going to shoot bottom. But what a fantastic pass by the 67 at the end. Whew. All right, everybody take a breath. Let's see if we can go back and take a look at this accident that happened on that white flag lap. And we're going to be on board here with Drafty. Oh, that looks like just some terrible netcode. Drafty's going to get turned there by the 44, but the 37 with some terrible netcode getting turned, backing into the wall. Wow, let's see if we can get ourselves back live here, folks. What a race. What a job. As now it looks like Alex is going to come down here, and man, he is going to smoke the tires off of this Gen 4 machine. He is going to be your winner here at Daytona. 60 laps in the books. Great job by this driver. Very strong all night long. Man, there he is. What a great job by him. Fantastic job. All right, we're going to see if we can get some of these drivers up here in the booth. And let's see if we can pull any of these drivers up here. Let's take a look. See who he's got in the booth. And then we're going to show you the results. Now, your top 3 is going to be Alex Anderson, Logan Gill, and Dylan Jacobs. Those are all going to be the drivers that we are going to try to get some conversations with. Nick Baum was able to come in 4th. JD in 5th. Rachel finding a way to get that thing done. Man, you know, we kind of put him out for dead, but he done a fantastic job. He is going to come in 5th. Zach White is going to be 6th. Davis is going to be 7th. Jim in 8th, and Jack in 9th. Jack in the 32 car there, and then Kelly is going to round out your top 10. All right, it does look like we've got all 3 drivers here in the booth. So right now we're going to hop on board with Dylan, and let's see if we can pull Dylan here in the booth. Dylan, this is John Ross in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can, man. So, what a fantastic race! Only 60 laps here in the Gen 4. I guess the first thing I want to ask for you is this new Gen 4, the new configuration. How did you feel in this car? What are some of the differences that you can take away here on this Gen 4 machine?
I would say they definitely can push better, being that they had that super speedway body with the raised front bumper. Um, Other than that, they definitely get a lot lighter than the old configuration getting into the corner.
Mm.
That's pretty much it. They handle roughly about the same everywhere else.
Yeah, well, I will tell you, man, that move it looked like was a really great move. Seeing you sitting back there, I didn't know really what was going to happen. The 67 made a good move there to the outside of the eighth, and then you kind of went down to try to make that thing three wide and get a good turn. Really not able to get that thing done, but you do bring a podium home. Very first race here, top tier racing in the new season. Man, that has got to look good for you here for the rest of this year.
Oh yeah, I'm pumped about it. I just can't wait to look forward to the rest of the year and see what I can do.
Well, you did it tonight, my friend. Top three. Congratulations, sir. And Dylan, we'll turn it over to you, let you give your shout outs.
I just want to give a shout out to Mid Tier Racing for giving me the opportunity and asking me to come on board and race. Especially Jeremy paying for my entry fee to get in. And that's pretty much it. And then just my friends and families for support.
Well, you did a fantastic job. Way to bring that thing home. You put that 81 machine on a podium tonight. So we'll get you back down and let you celebrate with your team.
Thank you guys, and thank you for broadcasting.
Sure. Thanks, Dylan. All right, so there is Dylan. That is going to be your third place driver. Now we're going to see if we can find Logan, and we're going to talk about that last turn move here. Let's see if we can get him into the booth. Logan, this is John in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, man, fantastic job all night long. You ran up front, up, I think it was at one point about 20 something positions. You did a fantastic job tonight. Walk me through how the race went. And then did you know the 67 was going to pull out there at the end? It looked like he was so tight on you. I didn't think he was going to be able to get that move done, but man, he did and had a ton of momentum there.
Oh yeah. So, he was tucked in behind me. I thought the cars were gonna come to the outside, and I thought he was gonna block. But it was just a miscommunication. Teammate though won, so it's still a plus. But we got through that first wreck, and was kind of scared being up in the front, but we made it happen, and we pit a little later than all the other guys, and we had enough fuel, and it just worked out. So top
Well,
three for the team though. So.
yeah, we'll tell you, man. Revved Up Racing did a fantastic job tonight, so you really can't hate that. But man, you were, it's always tough being that lead car on the exit of four at Daytona. I got to tell you, if you were to ever say what are some of the worst positions you want to be in an oval, I think leading at the exit of four at Daytona has got to be one of those. But man, you were still able to bring that thing home in second position. Like you said, you got a teammate there taking the checkered flag. So no harm, no foul. Man, we'll turn it over to you, let you give your shout outs.
It's just a shutout, all my teammates, honestly, got through that race. We all worked together and it was good. So,
Yeah, you did a heck of a job, man, and you were up front all night long. So fantastic job. Look forward to seeing you the rest of this season. We're going to go to Iowa. So big change from this plate race, right, to a short track race, but looking forward to big things from you.
thank you. Be there next week.
So there you have it, second place driver. Now we've got to pull in this winner, and that is going to be Alex Anderson there in the 67. So let's see if we can pull him in the booth. Alex, this is John in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I do. How are you?
Woo, man, I will tell you, sometimes it's really good to just watch them and not race them. But man, you were up front all night long. Great job by that car. I really thought early on in the race, you did so well at getting some momentum on that top line. It seemed like your car, that 67, the only car that could really drive that top line well, and you were able to do that up front all night long. Little bit of different pit strategy there late in that race, but man, able to get it done. Walk me through your race, and then really that move on the exit of four.
Well, you're talking about that run on the outside. It's really not that hard. I mean, you just let the car drift up to the wall in the straights, hug it down low in the corners, get a side drift. As long as you got somebody, you don't even need to be pushing. As long as they're relatively close to your bumper, you can just get a decent run. But that pit strategy, I mean, it was after I wanted to pit under the first yellow. Just I figured we could one stop it from there
Mm-hmm.
if it went green. And I mean, like, I lost what 4 or 5 spots, made it up, stayed up front, and then pit again, stayed up front, and then yellow came out, and then again staying up front through the green white checkered, and then I was just trying to push Logan out as far as possible, and I was just trying to keep him in front. I really thought he was going to try and block me out of 4, and then I also thought that people behind us were going to make a move, but just uncontested, clean move around the outside, and first race in this year, I got my first win.
Well, I will tell you, man, you did a fantastic job. Like I said, you were up front all night long. Really played that perfectly. I thought you were so tight to the 8. I wasn't sure you could get that move done, but man, this Gen 4 really surprising there. Looked like you got a really good run coming out of 4. Getting that move done, man, I will tell you, there's nothing better than getting that pass on the last turn there at Daytona, bringing this thing home. First win here of the season, first race of the season, so that's got to look good for you. We're going to go short track racing at Ohio next week. So congratulations, man. We'll turn it over to you, let you give your shout outs.
All right. Well, first off, gotta thank my parents, biggest sponsors, more than anybody. Couldn't be doing this without them, so thank you to them. Everybody backed up at the revved up shop for giving me this car and all that jazz. And then thanks to everybody at Top Tier for putting on the show. Thanks to you for giving us the broadcast here this week. And I'll see y'all next week at Iowa.
Yeah, congratulations. We'll get you back down to that team, let you do your celebrating. Look forward to seeing you next week.
All right, appreciate it, man. Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you. You too. So there you have it, folks. Let's see if we can pop up the official results and see if we can get this thing. We're going to pop this up on your screen. There you have it. So Alex bringing home that win. Logan is going to be in second. Dylan in third. Nick, JD, Zach, Davis, Jim, Jack, and Kelly are going to round out your top 10. Jake is going to be in 11th. We've got Kenny in 12th. Matt in 13th. We saw him. He was in that late race accident. We've got Jeremy, Shane, Robert, Drafty. Again, he was in that late race incident. He's going to round up 17th. 18th is Christian Proctor. Jorge is 19th. Dan Ames in 20th. We got Robert, Rob, and then Nick is going to round out your 23 cars. So really great race here. Certainly appreciate that. Appreciate Top Tier Racing for everything that they do. We are going to have a nice long season here. This is just week 1. We're going to be here for about 20 plus races. So certainly appreciate you tuning in. Thank you very much again. Thank you to Royalty Racing Network, as this is my first broadcast. So certainly appreciate everything that they do for this league and for every other league. So thank you very much. We're going to see you next week. It's going to be the same time. We're going to go to Iowa. We're going to do a little short track racing. Might talk to some new drivers here in this booth by the end of that one. Thank you, everyone, and have a good night.